Welcome to Shad's Guitar Show. Whether it's the gear or the players who made the gear famous, join me each episode as we discuss all things guitar. Well, hey there everybody, welcome into another mini episode of Shad's Guitar Show, and I'm super excited about this one. For anybody my age, which would be, early to mid 50s, you'll probably remember the Crate Amplifier brand. Actually, Crate was the first amp I ever owned in the very early 1990s. And I've started thinking about amps the other day, and Crate amps in particular. I don't even remember how it came up, but we were talking about our first amps. And I started thinking, whatever happened to them? So here is the Crate Amplifier story. Today we're taking a look at a guitar amp brand that was everywhere in the 80s and 90s. Crate Amplifiers. Whether you love them or just remember seeing those distinctive carpet-covered cabinets in music stores, Crate played a huge role in introducing generations of guitarists to their first amplifier. So Crate began in 1978 as a division of St. Louis Music, a long-established American musical instrument distributor based in Missouri. The original idea was simple: build rugged, affordable amplifiers that could survive life on the road. In fact, the very first Crate amps were housed in wooden cabinets that resembled shipping crates, hence the name Crate. Their natural wood cabinets quickly became one of the brand's signature looks. Throughout the 1980s, Crate expanded rapidly as the solid-state technology became more affordable. The company focused on offering feature-packed amps at prices that beginners and working musicians could afford. By the early 90s, it seemed like every music store had a full wall of Crate amplifiers. Some of their most popular models included the GX series, especially the GX15 and GX30, which became staple beginner practice amps. If you learned guitar in the 90s, there's a good chance you plugged into one of these. They were inexpensive, dependable, and loud enough for rehearsals. The GFX series added built-in digital effects like chorus, delay, and reverb, giving players a lot of versatility without needing pedals. But for players wanting more power, the Crate Blue Voodoo series became one of the company's most respected tube amp lines. Introduced in the mid-1990s, the Blue Voodoo heads and combos featured all-tube circuitry with plenty of gain for hard rock and metal. They developed something of a cult following and are still sought after on the used market today. Another favorite was the Vintage Club series. Unlike many Crate models aimed at high-gain players, the Vintage Club amps delivered warm, American-style clean tones with smooth overdrive, making them popular with blues, classic rock, and country guitarists. And Crate also produced the Power Block, a tiny 150-watt solid-state amplifier head that became surprisingly popular with gigging musicians. It was small enough to fit into your gig bag, but powerful enough to drive a full speaker cabinet, well ahead of today's trend towards compact amplifier heads. One thing Crate did particularly well was innovate at affordable prices. They offered stereo amps, built-in effects, acoustic amplifiers, bass amps, and even battery-powered portable models long before many competitors entered those markets. So what happened? Well, the guitar market changed dramatically in the 2000s. Affordable tube amplifiers from overseas manufacturers became increasingly common, while digital modeling technology from companies like Line 6 began reshaping the entry-level amp market. Crate ultimately found itself squeezed between inexpensive imported tube amps and increasingly sophisticated digital modeling amplifiers. In 2005, St. Louis Music was acquired by Loud Technologies, and although Crate remained in production for a time, the brand gradually received less attention as the market shifted. By the mid-2010s, production had largely ceased, and Crate quietly disappeared from the new amp market. Today, Crate amps remain plentiful on the used market. While the smaller practice amps are remembered mostly for their affordability, models like the Blue Voodoo, the Vintage Club, and the Power Block have earned lasting respect from players who appreciate their unique sound and excellent value. Crate may no longer be building new amplifiers, but for many guitarists, myself included, that first carpet-covered practice amp was where the journey began. And sometimes, that's just the kind of gear that leaves the biggest and most lasting impression. If you've enjoyed this mini episode on Crate amplifiers, make sure and share it with a guitar-playing friend, and also leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening. Next time you're on YouTube, subscribe to Shad's Guitar Show there and follow me on Instagram. And remember, the best guitar player is the one having the most fun.